before we begin, we're pleased to welcome Commander Stockback and General Brosnick, Senator Bell's wife Kimberly, and his brother Brett. Colonel Michael A. McNerney, Deputy Commander of the 352nd Special Operations Group at RAF Mildenhall, will be the officiating officer for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem being sung today by Ms. Megan Becker, followed by the invocation from Chaplain Wolfish. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Michael McNerney.
Before I get started, I want everyone to please put together a hand for incredible. Chaplain, terrific words. Thank you very much. Good morning, General Brosnick, Kim, Rick, Suzanne, fellow colonels, chiefs, service members, friends and family. Thank you all for coming here today to recognize the promotion of Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bell to the rank of colonel. It's truly humbling for me to have been asked to be here today, recognize the accomplishments of one of the strongest leaders and mentors I've ever had the honor of working with in my career, not to mention the best friend I've ever had. And General Brosnick, I thank you for the privilege and the opportunity to preside here today. As we stand here in the fantail of the battleship Missouri, I stand in awe and emotion of the symbolism representing the personal sacrifice of thousands of men and women who have fought to defend this nation's freedom, from World War II for Operation Enduring Freedom. It's truly a fitting venue for today's event. There are a lot of words that describe Brian Bell, but three stand out to me as being the core of who he is. It's integrity, moral courage, and loyalty. And he's also an incredibly handsome man, but that goes without saying. Really, you can get into the Fayetteville community without being that. I know what you all think, what about Phil Kieser? There are waivers to everything. Yeah, Phil, I saw a little quick email about me presiding on my defense. Integrity, moral courage, and loyalty. These are the traits that make Brian an incredibly strong and effective leader. He's also made him a man who I modeled myself after since I've met him. I bet there was an eye roll right there. I can't see him, but I'll bet you money there was an eye roll. He'd stand up and argue with me. I know what kind of words he'd say to the contrary. But I got the floor first. I'm right. Stay seated. Thank you. Brian and I first met back in 1996 at Fort Rucker. That's the first time I got exposed to his leadership. He was designated as our class commander. He dominated the room when he came in with his presence. Tapped the table, told the class this is how it was going to be. Now, being a fellow alpha male in the room and a peer, I looked at him like, who is this young man think he is? But I bit my tongue, because I didn't want that. I was very lucky I bit my tongue because very, very quickly thereafter, I realized that our mutual love of movie quotes, cynicism, sarcasm, and flying were going to be the foundations of a very long and enduring friendship that still goes to this day. We continued to stay in touch when he went off to Mount Superfly in Mike and the ever-perfect Brian Kimberly. I'll get back to you later, too. So we were apart until about 2000, when he came to the 20th Special Operations Squadron at Hurlburt Field in Denver United. I've told this story about 100 times now. Most of you haven't heard it. I know Brian doesn't get tired of hearing it because it's one of the few times in a public forum that I'll admit I was wrong. See, I was the B-flight commander when Brian was assigned to my flight as a new co-pilot. I gotta tell you, the second hardest thing to do is have your best friend working for you. The hardest thing would be working for your best friend, which I think Brian could attest to. See, I'm afraid I may have slightly overcompensated in my demands and expectations for Brian, so that I didn't appear that I was showing any favoritism to him. There were times that I failed so many aircraft systems on him and kept him driving to the objective that my fellow instructors would look at me and go, "Damn, Matt." But you know what? He keeps inviting me back. So I know that I made him a better man when it's over. Or he's plotting the most elaborate long-war revenge scheme ever. Only time is going to tell us. Now, when Brian took over being flight for me, I knew it would go farther than it ever had before. He showed tremendous leadership in closing out our flight's first deployment to OEF when he stayed behind as the last man to make sure that our dusted out, battle-scarred helicopters made it back through customs and back to Hurlburt Field. It's a task that many others would have left to more expendable people in flight than not Brian. That's not the way he worked. At one point, we both worked for somebody who said, "Don't work for your boss, work for your boss's boss." Now, Brian, as an ever professional airman, always needs commander's intent. But he's not the kind of guy who works for his boss's boss. He works for his subordinate's subordinate. Company grade officers, non-commissioned officers, junior enlisted that are the backbone of our service. This approach that he takes ensures that we have a long-term investment in the careers and leadership development of the next generation of leaders that will define the future of our force. Brian's led in all environments, combat deployments, to squadron command, and joint staff, and will soon represent our military as an attaché to a key partner nation. I know he's the right guy at the right time, and his promotion maintains our faith in the system. His hard work, perseverance, and demonstrated leadership clearly illustrate that he has far more than simply the potential to serve in the next higher grade, as is indicated in his promotion order, but he has the moral fortitude to succeed in that capacity. Kim, Brian couldn't have done it without you. Any more than I could have done without that. He's reached his full potential with you. Now, I know he loves and cherishes you more than anything else in the world. I know you guys drive each other crazy at times. I have to admit that it's the most entertaining thing I've ever watched. Sometimes watching you reminds me of my brothers and sisters watching my parents. They just passed their 60th anniversary. Shows a great future for you. Just don't often be hard candy, so repeat the same story 3 times in an hour, because then you will be my parents. I'll think anything about it. You rock. Thank you for everything you've done, and I hope you continue to do the most important role in our service. Brett, I'm glad you could be here today too. Brian's always spoken really highly of you. That's why I think I felt like I knew you before when we saw each other the other day. He always finishes the conversations, and I can still take him though. I don't know who's trying to convince me or himself, but let's talk to you afterward. Suzanne, thank you for coming all the way out from New York for this. It's great to see that we've become such close friends so quickly. And I got to tell this story because it's a real indicator of what kind of people Brian became are. You've known that for 4.5 months now, roughly. Flew all the way from New York with us. It all started a year ago when Brian came out to my promotion ceremony at Hobart Field. Now, he said he wasn't going to be able to make it, and he showed up and surprised me, which was a pretty cool trip. I was going to do the same thing, tell him I was coming, and then I show up, and he said it wasn't the same. I didn't understand, so I listen to Patty as I always do, and that's why I'm here. But he showed up, and my high school friend from New York, the only one I still keep in touch with from high school, showed up. They became such fast friends that my high school friend from New York invited him to his wedding in August, and they both showed up. They came to the wedding, met Suzanne, Megan, new best friends. They've all come out here and visited multiple times, and she came all the way out for this. I mean, that's just the kind of people Kim and Brian are. People gravitate toward them because they are just special, and I'm better than knowing both of you. In closing, I would like once again to thank all the friends, family, and comrades of Brian Kim for being here today. It's pretty significant that I've been out of 6. Only about 5% of nearly 70,000 officers in the United States Air Force made it this far. It's a move from field grade and action officer to senior leader in the Air Force. Brian, you are now going to look at, listen to, create expectations that are a little bit different than anything you've ever experienced. I gave you the same look when I got my speech, but it's true. You'll be surprised. I know you'll succeed. You don't know anything different. I'm sure everyone here joins me in wishing you well as you step forward in your new adventures as a colonel. I thank everyone for their attention today, and I think it's time to make this official. Publish the order.
Attention orders. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bell. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in a higher grade, Lieutenant Colonel Bell is promoted to the grade of Colonel, United States Air Force, effective this 28th day of December, 2012, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Kim, Brett, would you please come forward and pin on Colonel Bell's new rank. Colonel McNerney will now administer the oath of office to our newest colonel.
Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your full name. Having been appointed a colonel in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Brian Bell.
I don't have much to say after that. He was very closely guarded on his speech. Obviously, I'm writing. I couldn't come to certain parts of my house, so I was going to say. A lot of them are bold-faced lies. I'm going to say that right now. So we'll take care of that. They have to probably say this. But sir, thank you very much for coming out. Obviously, a huge part of that. It's been an absolute pleasure to continue to work for you, sir. It's, obviously, some history behind you there, sir. Colonel White. So glad you could make it as well. Been on Lieutenant Colonel back in Fairchild. I was very for this. So even more history with Phil Kiesler again. Like you said, we made an exception for Phil and Pablo. So, but Phil was my superintendent, and before I left to go to Fairchild, we got to do this video flight as my superintendent. It's good that we finally got with him here. Obviously, and then Phil Flight Commander. I'm working for, continue to work for Gene Becker here as well. Rob Jones from Fairchild. And the surprise of all was Aaron Lyle, sitting right back there in the white shirt. We go all the way back to grade school in Burgess, Oklahoma. So thanks, Aaron, for being here. Really appreciate that. All fellow colonels, Sokpak, Ohana, it's been an absolute pleasure being here. And you got to stick around. You got to stick with me for about another 5 more months. So I think Bill Moore said, so we're not going to get any more work out of you after the pin on it. So what's it you're going to be doing? So I pretty much say anything CG needs you to do. So right now, obviously, it's great to have the 514 here as well. Big part of the Philippines assessment coming up. CG's entrusted me with that. ACOM led. So we'll continue to go forward there. But a lot of history here. I know my parents couldn't be here for reasons beyond their control, so we're videotaping this. Father was a Navy man, so I saw it only fitting being born in Missouri. My wife did the math on that one and did an awesome job to support Missouri for us. So I think Mike summed it up in the fact that you really got to take care of the people that work for you, and I consider myself working for people. So taken a lot of things over the years. Obviously, a lot of mentors, a lot of leaders. I'll tell you, I was a mentor. That's garbage. I always took over from him and stuff. So I was always been there behind me. So that was me, Academy guys. No offense to Academy guys. But you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I've been blessed over the past 22 years to be surrounded with great people. Many of you here in the audience, some that couldn't be here. So I thank you for everything you've done to support me. Like I said, Kim got to spend a year here away from me while I went to the Caribbean, another tough job. But I had a boss that's 3,000 miles away that trusted me to run a Fort operating location. So again, I consider myself blessed. I had a great team there that kept me out of trouble. So I got out okay. I got to come back here, so it was a great deal. Heading off to attaché duty. Kimmy did an awesome job on the interview. I think you're pretty much the one that got the job for us. So we'll be relying heavily on you, obviously. Again, I can't thank you enough, Suzanne. Thanks for coming. Such a long distance. Thanks for dinner last night. Really appreciate that. Brett, can't say enough. We got my first set of wings out of Rucker. And you've been on Colonel. My mom and dad can't be here, but we were part of that initial push there as a butter bar, and I get to see it the end of the life cycle here. So you can't, like I said, I can't do anything about it. Ever since those days in Great Falls, you know, been there, been back home, it gets me. Thank you. And I think I'm going to stick around till the Air Force kicks me out. So we'll figure out what I'm going to do after the Philippines. But right now, you know, I think we have everything mapped out for us. And I can't thank everyone enough for coming out. If I don't see each and every one of you at Schooners, the open bar and poo-poos, that's still us. Then you're welcome. So please come by, at least put something in your purse or your wallet or your backpack. We have cupcakes melting out the car right now, I think. So I want to make sure you get that. Again, sir, thank you for coming out. Really appreciate you being here. But thank you for everyone for being here. God bless. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this morning's ceremony. Please feel free to come to the front and offer your congratulations. I'm totally kidding. No. It's not. We're not done. He didn't forget it. It's a trick. This is cool. I said, this is cool.
Brian and I don't have children, so we're pretty much too good for credit cards. And when anybody gets into our house, you never know who's going to mess with stuff. So I run out of fun things to buy for special occasions. And when I initially came on the site survey, I was very lucky to work with Mike and Neil, who are absolutely fantastic, knowledgeable professionals. And I had the opportunity to purchase this flag, which was this American flag was flown aboard USS Missouri on 9/2/12, marked for World War I. Well, this morning they flew it this morning to Missouri Bryant, hitting on 6, and it says certificate to Colonel Ryan Bell in honor of your promotion ceremony. The U.S. Missouri played a crucial and unforgettable role in the defense of America in 3 wars spanning 4 decades. The battleship support of American military forces was just as vital in the Gulf War of 1991 as it was in the Pacific Theater 46 years earlier. The USS Missouri's place in America's history was forever immortalized as the site of September 2nd, 1945 signing of the instrument of surrender in World War II. The United States flag accompanying the certificate was raised and lowered from the Tomahawk deck of the Halyard line on September 2nd at 06:55 and 28 December at 0900. Signed Michael A. Carr, President, Chief Operating Officer, and Robert P. Boone, Vice Admiral, U.S. and retired Chairman of the Board.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to step forward and give your congratulations to Colonel Bell.
Thanks, brother.